Hello, guys. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to part 7 of our AQA GCSE Higher Paper 2 Maths Work Through. So, here we have a question, or let me just add my pen. Lovely. A ladder of length 31 feet is leaning against a wall as shown. So that's the ladder there. The foot of the ladder is 8 feet from the wall, as shown here. And the wall itself is 35 feet tall. Work out the distance from the top of the ladder to the top of the wall. So the top of the ladder is up here, and the top of the wall is up here. So we're trying to work out this distance here. To work out this distance, well, we know the distance of the entire wall, which is 35 feet. So if we knew this distance here, the distance that we want would be the difference between 35 and this missing distance that I've marked here in blue. And that's just Pythagoras, right? So let's call this distance x. And using Pythagoras' theorem, we have x squared plus 8 squared equals 31 squared. So x squared is equal to 31 squared minus 8 squared. And then x is equal to the square root of 31 squared minus 8 squared. Just going to get a calculator to work that out. So the square root of 31 squared minus 8 squared, that's the square root of 897 feet. The distance that I actually want is this here. So that, let me just change color actually, is calculated by doing 35 take away x, or 35 take away the square root of 897. So 35 take away that answer gives me, and rounding that gives me 5.0. Well, let's write the whole number first. I say the whole number, what the calculator displays. And then if I round that, that's going to be 5.05. Let's just say that's correct to 3 significant figures. Okay, moving on. That's the answer, by the way. Okay, here's the question that I mentioned that we would do in the next video. Here it is. David invests £5,000 in a savings account. The account pays 3.2% compound interest per year. Work out the value of his investment after 3 years. Well, we're increasing our amount by 3.2% each year, and it's of the new amount, it's compound interest. So increase by 3.2% means we're basically working out 103.2%. And that as a decimal is 1.032. So if we're increasing it and we're doing it 3 times, because it's after 3 years, our amount is going to be £5,000 multiplied by 1.032 times 1.032 times 1.032. Doing it 3 times because you've got it for 3 years. Okay? Please, it's important to do it this way. I'd probably prefer that you do it the long way, just so that you don't try to make shortcuts and make mistakes. Because I've seen certain types of errors made where people say, oh, 1.032 and then times it by 3. But it doesn't work like that. If I were to shorten this, understanding our rules of maths, we have 5,000 multiplied by 1.032 to the power of 3. Okay, now let's actually work that out. 5,000 times 1.032 to the power of 3. And that gives us 5 495.52, correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, we need it to 2 decimal places because it's money. So 5495.52. Right, let's do the next compound interest question. It says Matthew invests some money in a building society. His money earns 5% interest every year. 5%. Now, wow. So he wants it to be worth at least £9,000 at the end of 3 years. What is the smallest amount he can invest? Oh, this is an interesting question. So we're increasing by 5%. So that means we are working out 105% of some amount. And 105% is equal to 1.05. Okay, so we've got some amount, let's just call it X. We are increasing or timesing by 1.05. We're doing it 3 times. And we want our amount to be £9,000. Okay, so let's simplify this. We've got X multiplied by 1.05 to the power of 3. And that we want that to equal 9,000. Yeah, 9,000. Now, X, I'm going to rearrange it to make it the subject. So X is equal to 9,000 over 1.05 to the power of 3. So we're dividing. Okay? So if I do that, I get 9,000 divided by 1.05 to the power of 3. So that's going to give me an X value of 7,774.53837 dot dot dot, and to 2 decimal places, that is equal to 7,774.54. Okay. Just as a side note, notice how well, it's not really a side note, it's actually quite important. It's 0.53 something. If the rounding worked such that it would be 5.3, then we would probably still round it up to 5.4. Because if we had put in 5.3, then applying the rule wouldn't quite have made it to £9,000. It would have been, I don't know, maybe £8,999 and some number of pennies, which isn't quite £9,000. So in this kind of situation, it would be important to round up because we want it to be worth at least £9,000. But that's fine. Don't worry if you didn't catch the last bit of what I just said. This is the main bulk of the work. So we've got £7,774.54. Okay, because this one's here staring us in the face, let's do this one as well. Let's change the color. X equals 2y minus 6. We want to make y the subject. So if we add 6 to both sides, we end up with x plus 6 equals 2y. And then if we divide both sides by 2, because we've got 2y, remember we're always doing the opposite, we have x plus 6 over 2 is equal to y. So that's the final answer. Y equals x plus 6 over 2. Okay, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one, where we'll probably do a lot more rearranging. Take care.